and today we're going to be going over a Trump best case scenario case for the 2024 election. Now, we're going to be going through every single state. We're not going to go through the safe states for Biden and Trump just because those states usually have each candidate up more than 15 points. Now, we're going to go through every single state, in my opinion, that is a swing state for this election. Now, we're going to start off with Trump's safe states. Those are going to be Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota. You're also going to go Nebraska, the first and third district, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and South Carolina, as long with Maine second district and Alaska. And I am going to give Iowa and Ohio to Trump because I've seen polls come out of those states that almost have Trump up by 18 points, which would make those states severely safe states for Trump. So, but here are going to be the safe states for Trump. He starts off with 145 electoral votes. Now, if we come over to Biden's safe states, obviously you're going to have the state of California with its 54 electoral votes. We're also going to have the state of Hawaii. We're also going to have the state of Massachusetts. We're going to have the state of Maryland and Delaware. And we're also going to have the District of Columbia. And we're also going to have Vermont. So these are going to be your safe states for Biden. He doesn't start off with too many, but later on he will gain some more states. But yeah, he starts off with 88 electoral votes, and these are going to be the safe states for Biden, and then Trump is going to have 145 electoral votes, and these are going to be the safe states for Trump. Now let's start over in Washington. As we can see, this is a Trump best case scenario. So we're going to take the best poll that fits Trump out of each state, and we're going to give it to him. So if we come over here, we can obviously see that there's not too many polls that have Trump up. There's only 2 of them, but the best one is Trump by 5, which was taken by the Independent Center on April. So that means this state is going to be a likely Republican state. We're going to give that to Trump. Now, if we come down to Oregon, we're going to see that there is no polls for Trump, but there is some polls with Kennedy, and since this is a Trump best case scenario, we're going to give Trump the best poll. So if we take Trump's poll out of Kennedy and Biden's poll out of Kennedy, you can see that Biden has 40% and Trump has 39%, which meaning Biden is only leading by 1 point. So if we apply that to the state of Oregon, Oregon will become a tilt Biden state. Now let's go over to Nevada. Now, down in Nevada, we can see that Trump has been severely crushing the polls. There's only been one state polled by Biden that he's been winning, and it was only by 1 point, even though it shows them tied, which is kind of weird. So, but we're going to take the best poll, which is going to be Trump up by 10%. So we're going to add that to Nevada, and we're going to make that a safe Republican state. Like I said, anything that's going to be higher than 10 points, we're going to make safe for the Republicans and Democrats. So Nevada is going to be a safe Republican state. And now we come to Arizona. We're going to see, as you can see, Trump again has been crushing the polls in Arizona. And the best poll that comes out of Arizona is going to be Trump by 15, making Arizona a safe Republican state. Now in New Mexico, we're going to see that Trump has not been leading the polls at all, at all. It's all been Biden. But if we take the smallest margin by Biden, which is Biden by 1%, apply that to the map, we're going to see that New Mexico is just like Oregon. It's going to be a tilt Democrat state. Now let's come up to Colorado. As you can see in Colorado, again, Trump has not been leading the polls at all. But if we apply the lowest margin, which is going to be Biden by 4, that will make Colorado a lean Democrat state. It's not gonna be likely. I would say likely is anything 5 or higher. So, but anything between 2 and 4, I would say is definitely a lean. So let's come down to Texas. Now in Texas, Trump has been crushing the polls severely, and he's actually gaining a lot more. As you can see, he starts off with 8, 9, 7, and now he's all the way up to 9, 11, and 10. So with that being said, 11's the best poll out of this whole thing, and we're going to take that and apply that to Texas and make Texas a safe Republican state. Now let's come over here to Florida. In Florida, we can see that Trump again has been crushing the polls, and if we take the best one, I think it's going to be this one by 13, which makes Florida a safe Republican state, just like Texas. Now let's go up to Georgia. If we go to Georgia, we're going to see that again the best poll out of Georgia is 10, and Trump's been leading in Georgia throughout the whole polls. But if we just take the best one, it's going to be 10 points, and that will make Georgia a safe Republican state. Now, if we go to North Carolina, let's see. Trump's been leading the polls in North Carolina for a very, very long time, all the way back in April. And if we scroll down, again, he's been crushing the polls. If we take the best one, it's going to be Trump by 12. So apply that to the map. North Carolina is going to be a safe Republican state. Now, if we come to Virginia, up here in Virginia, as you can see, Trump has not been leading at any polls, but he is getting closer. It started with Biden +1, Biden +3, Biden +4, and now they're already tied. They're all the way to Biden +1, and they have 2 tied polls. Now, since this is a Trump best case scenario, we are going to give this to Trump because there's 2 polls, and those are going to be the best ones, and we're just going to favor Trump because this is a best case scenario. So that will make Virginia a tilt Republican state. Now, if we come to West Virginia, I should have marked as a safe Republican state. That state already has Trump up by more than like 20, I'm pretty sure. So, but if we come to Pennsylvania, we can see in Pennsylvania, where's Pennsylvania? Well, let's start with New Jersey. In New Jersey, we can see that there is an outlier poll. It has Trump up by 1, which Trump is gaining ground in New Jersey. We need to see more polling come out of this state for sure, but if we take the best poll, it will have Trump up by 1, and that will, if we apply that to the thing, that makes New Jersey a tilt Republican state. Excuse me. If we come up to New York, I'm pretty sure, yep, we can see that Biden has been he's been up in the polls in New York every single one. But if we take the best one for Trump, it's going to be Biden by 7, and that's going to make New York a I would say not a safe, but definitely a more lean Biden state for sure. New York is getting competitive though. All the polling that's come out of this state is definitely shifting more towards Trump every single time. Honestly, like the polling for Biden, it keeps going down. It had it by 9, now it has it at 8, and now the best one is at 7. So we're going to keep a close eye on New York. New York's definitely going to be a interesting state to watch this upcoming election. Now, if we go to the next state, it's going to be Connecticut, and Connecticut is just like New York, has Biden in all its polls. The best one's going to be Biden by 8. So just like New York, Connecticut's going to be a lean Democrat state. And if we go to Rhode Island, we can see that it is just like Connecticut and New York, and the best one's going to be 7 points for Biden. So if we come over here, we can apply that to Rhode Island. Rhode Island's going to be a lean Biden state. Now let's go up to New Hampshire. As you can see, Biden has been, leading the polls ever since then. Even up here, we have one poll that has Trump up by 2, which is crazy because, as you can see, Trump is starting to build a momentum in New Hampshire. So we're going to take this poll by Trump up 2, and we're going to apply that to the map, and that makes New Hampshire a lean Trump state. So there we go. And if we come up to Maine, we're going to go through the first in national district. And if we click on, here we go, Maine. Now the first the second district does have Trump up by 20. We mark that as a safe district. And if we come down to the first district, we can see Biden is up by 8. And if we come over to the one that was in November of 2023, we can see that it has Maine's first district, Biden by 16. So as if we take the best case scenario, we're going to get Biden by 8. And the general poll in Maine does have Trump up by, as you can see, one point. So if we apply that to the map, we're going to get this as a tilt Republican state, and then the first district is going to be a lean Biden district. So there we go for Maine. Now let's come down to Pennsylvania. As you can see in Pennsylvania, here we go. Here's the polling. Trump's been crushing the polls, and if we take the best one, it's going to have Trump up by 7. So there you go. Pennsylvania will be a lean Trump state. Now, if we go to Michigan, Michigan also has Biden up in the recent Bloomberg polls, but if we take the best case scenario for Trump, he's going to be leading by 4%. So that makes Michigan not a lean, but a tilt Republican state. Now, if we go down to Wisconsin, or go up to Wisconsin, let's see. In Wisconsin, here's the polls for Wisconsin, and we can see that it's kind of going back and forth. There's not really a, each candidate's not really taking a lead, but if we take the best case scenario for Trump, it's going to be Trump up by 6, I'm pretty sure, which makes Wisconsin actually a likely Trump state. So there we go. That's for Wisconsin. And if we go over to the next poll that we have, which one is it? It's going to be Illinois. And Illinois is a pretty blue state. But if we take the best poll for Trump, we're going to have, I'm not going to do the Kennedy polls because we're just going to do a Trump and Biden, but I'm pretty sure the best one's going to be this one, 9%. Trump and Biden. Biden has 51% and Trump has 42%. So if we apply that to the map, Illinois is going to be a likely blue state. Now, if we go to Minnesota, we can see in Minnesota that it's been back and forth ever since, which Minnesota has been I think they're the longest Democrat state right now they haven't voted Republican in a very, very long time. So, but Trump could be the first Republican president to win Minnesota. And it's been a couple elections since, I think it was back in the 90s or something, that the last time it went Republican. I'm not pretty sure. I might have to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Back in the day was the last time it went Republican. But Trump could be the next one to win it. We have to play a close attention in Minnesota, just like New York. It's going to be a big swing state this election. But if we take the biggest poll for Trump, you're going to have Trump up by 5, which makes Minnesota a likely Republican state. Now, one more state left. We have Nebraska's 2nd district. And if we come over here, we can see in Nebraska, the 2nd district has Biden up by 5. But that was the polls at May. But if we go back, we can see the polls in April have Trump up by 3. So we're going to take those polls, apply them, and that's going to be a lean Trump margin right there. So here you go. Here's the map for Trump's best case scenario out of all the pollings for each swing state. Now, please, I hope you like the video. Go subscribe. Go leave a like on the video and comment down below if you have any questions or if you have any other details in mind of what Trump's best case scenario could be. But for now, this is going to be it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.